Hi everyone, welcome to our Google Literacy event. My name is Ifra Zaidi, and I'm the Marketing Director for PTC PEI. In this workshop, we will be introducing you all to some basic computer and Google literacy. Everything we will be talking about today will help you make the most of your Google experience for school. Don't worry if you don't have a lot of experience with Google. People who have no foundation in tech will be able to follow along. So now I'll go through today's agenda. We'll be going through 7 different topics, which include workshop goals, which we just covered. Next, we'll go over the ins and outs of your Google account. Then we'll be going through some basic shortcuts. And after that, we will talk about some search tips and tricks. And finally, we'll go over 3 Google applications: Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets. Now I'm going to pass it off to Angela to get us started.
Hey everyone, my name is Angela and I am the Outreach Coordinator here at PTC. And to start off our webinar, we want to make sure that everyone has a Google account so that they can participate in all the activities and work alongside us. We want everyone to learn as much as possible, and while you can do some of the stuff without an account, having one will make it so much more fun and you'll learn some really cool tips and tricks. After all, sometimes the best way to learn is by doing. So before we continue, make sure that you have your Google account ready. All right, so there is so much you can do with Google. You can contact people and share information with Gmail, or if you want a more text-like experience, there is Google Hangouts. There's also Google Meets if you want to chat and hear someone. And for work and presentations, there's Google Docs to write documents, as it suggests in the name. For an engaging presentation, there are Google Slides, which we are actually using right now. And if you need to organize or analyze data, or even make a graph, you can make Google Sheets. There are Google Forms if you need to conduct a survey, and if you need to research a topic, you can find a reliable scholarly source on Google Scholar. With that brief overview of only some of the things you can do with Google, let's dive in and learn more about each one.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Julie. I am taking the Outreach Director position in the PTC group. There are so many shortcuts to help you manipulate the computer, but I will introduce you for you guys a basic shortcut that you should know. The first one is Ctrl+Shift+N. You can use this shortcut to opening a new incognito folder for any place. The second one is Ctrl+Shift+T. If you want to bring back your tab that already closed, you can use that shortcut. Then Ctrl+W. This is opposite side. If you want to close a program, tab, or window, you can use Ctrl+W. Also, Ctrl# or Ctrl+Option+Arrow. If you want to jump between tabs, Ctrl+M help you minimize activity windows. Ctrl+B or Command-Option+B will help you open the bookmark manager. Now it's a challenge for you guys. You can open Chrome and follow me. So after you open the Chrome, try open 3 incognito tabs with the shortcut Ctrl+Shift+N. Then you can click plus icon to open the 2 more tabs. Then we can jump to second tab with the shortcut Ctrl+. And then open the Google by searching now. Close to the other tab by using Ctrl+W. And open another normal tab by Ctrl+Shift+T. Then go to the projectedconference.com and save to bookmark with the shortcut Ctrl+B. Then you guys can use the Ctrl+W to close on your program. Millions of people use Google Search every day for a variety of reasons. Students use
Sorry, Julie, I'm gonna have to interrupt you there for a second. Just for a couple of minutes, we're gonna have everyone try to do the Google Shortcuts challenge, and then leave your time in the chat below, and we want to see what your time is. So yeah, sorry, Julie, we can continue in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, let's move on then.
Okay, millions of people use Google Search every day for a variety of reasons. Students use it for school, business people use it for research, and millions more use it for entertainment. But more people may be not using Google Search for its full potential. Here is some tips and tricks to maximize your search efficiency. The first one is use course. When searching for some specific, try to use course to minimize the guesswork for Google search. When you put your research parameter in the course, it tells the search engine to search for the whole page. For instance, if you search for puppy dog sweater, the engine will search for the content that contains those three words in any order. However, if you search for course puppy dog sweaters course, it will search for the phrase exactly as you type it. This can help locate specific information that may be buried under other content if not sorted out correctly. The second is use dash. By putting dash right before words without a space, you do not want from research. Google will narrow down your research and exclude anything include term. That is helpful for you are searching a term that has more than one meaning. You title if you want to search to include research with a synonyms of term that you are looking for. You don't need to list out the keywords. Just enter the title symbol before the words to include a similar term. You cite you want research from a specific website. Just a site query to narrow down the search research to only the ones you need. Tab inside, followed by columns, the website you want to look for and brace you want to search for. Few more tips for that. Two periods, you can put two periods between the two numbers to express the range. This is practically useful for date measurement or price. Instead of putting two between the parameters, you can find a page that links to other page. Instead of searching a specific page, you can searching for a page that links to the specific page. Use the asterisk wildcard. When you use the asterisk in the search term on Google Search, it will leave a placeholder that may be automatically filled by search engine later. It's a brilliant way to find a song lyric if you don't really remember exactly all the words. So the next one is, what is Google Scholar? Google Scholar is a freely accessible web search engine that provides a simple way to broadly search for the scholarly literature. And also it is a tool for finding books, journal, articles that you may normally get from a library. Where possible, it provides a link to online version and to library copy to help you locate an item. The feature of Google Scholar are order article by date, notifies by email about new article, save article to your library, create citation format such as MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and Vancouver to be copy and paste, file relate article. Now, let's look at the left column where we can sort out the short research by date instead of relevant. Click since years to see only recent published paper sort by relevant. Then you can click Sort by Date to show just a new addition. The last, you can click the envelope icon to have results periodically delivered by email. On the right column, give you more direct options for obtaining the full text of document from a link. Moving forward to the middle columns is globally format to regular Google search, but with more options. First is star icon is used to save the article to your library. The next one is the citation icon, display a pop-up with citation format such as MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and Vancouver that may be copy and paste.
All right, so now I'll be explaining how to do a few features on Google Docs, such as how to add and remove add-ons and how to create a table of contents. These are both very useful things to know how to do when you're doing your work on Google Docs, especially for school. So what are add-ons? Add-ons are customized extensions of G Suite productivity applications. They add new capabilities to the G Suite applications they extend, help automate tasks, or make third-party services or information available in G Suite. Add-ons can be used with Gmail, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, and other applications. Like I said earlier, this is very helpful to have during school. They can help to boost your productivity and make your tasks a lot easier. Let's all try to install the add-on EasyBib Bibliography Creator. This add-on allows you to create a bibliography for your research paper. To install an add-on, you must do the following steps. So first, click on the add-ons menu item in the top menu bar. After clicking on add-ons, you will see a drop-down menu. There, you will see it says Get Add-ons. Click on that and you will be in the G Suite Marketplace. There you can scroll through the available add-ons, which can help you with a number of things. If you're looking for something more specific, you can narrow down the choices with the filter menu or type in a search term. All you have to do is type in the name of the add-on in the search field. Install and accept the terms, then you're set to go. So now you guys can take a few minutes to install EasyBib and also explore other add-ons. All right, so here we have a list of a few useful add-ons that are great for students to use in Google Docs. So first we have Yob Graph Editor. This app can help you make graphs in a quick and easy way. These graphs can be inserted into any document. Next we have Translate Plus. This one is pretty straightforward. It helps to translate languages in the document to other languages. And lastly, we have Lucid Chart Diagrams. This provides collaborative online diagramming to make it easy to draw flowcharts, mind maps, and more. So now we've reached our checkpoint. Everyone comment in the chat a cool add-on that you found while exploring. Okay, let's say you install an add-on and then decide you don't want it anymore. Here's what you need to do to remove it. First, click on the add-ons menu item that we did earlier. Then instead of clicking Get Add-ons, click Manage Add-ons. Next, you will see all of your add-ons. Press the 3 dots on the add-on that you want to remove. This shows you the options you can do. Finally, click Uninstall, and now the add-on has been removed. You can do this for Google Slides and Google Sheets as well. Now let's move on to creating a table of contents in your documents. When making documents, a table of contents can be very useful to keep everything organized so that you can easily find things that you're looking for. Making a table of contents is fairly simple. All you have to do is click the menu item, Insert, at the bottom of the drop-down menu, you will see that it says Table of Contents. When you click that, you can choose to either have it with page numbers or blue links. Once you choose, you're all done. You have successfully made a table of contents for your document. So I'll give you a few minutes to try to do that. All right, now I'm going to let Julie explain some things you can do with Google Slides.
As you know, Google Slides is a presentation program included as a part of a free web-based software office suite offered by Google within its Google Drive service. Google Slides allow users to create and edit presentations online while collaborating with other users in real time. There are many Google Slide add-ons to choose from. I will show you some useful Google Slide add-ons that are insert icon for slide. The first one is Doc 365 GIF marker and easy accents. With GIF marker, you can have an opportunity to use a free day or 7-day free trial, and it helps you quickly convert your slide to animation GIF. The question is how to add an animation. Open a presentation in Google Slides. Click the text or image you want to animate. Then click Insert and choose Animation, and then scroll down and choose the animation you want to use. There are 3 animation features commonly: flying from left to right, flying from bottom. So this is a fun activity. You guys can visit one of these link templates, then download one of the templates. After that you can click slide, then click change a theme, then click import theme. You can either upload a theme from your download, and as you can see, you can also import your current existing slide in your Google Drive. If you play around with this, you can know it more. The first, on the title page, please make the title a color that you want. Then click the Explore button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Last, will generate slide based on your color scheme. So now is a time you guys can try your own.
So you can either use this time to import a template from the websites from the previous slide or create your own template. All right, so I hope everyone had enough time to play around with Google Slides, whether it be importing a theme or making your own. And we're gonna move on to Google Sheets. And I've got to admit, it can seem a little scary at first glance, but that's only because it can do so much. And once we learn how to use Google Sheets, you'll be a super data analyst. If you're familiar with Excel from Microsoft, Sheets is pretty much Google's equivalent. You can use it to format, analyze, and organize data. Learning how to use it will allow you to perform functions and calculations on large amounts of data. And if you're anything like me, you don't want to do these calculations by hand. So using Sheets will come in super handy. There are a bunch of super cool operations you can do to manage data. All right, so let's start off with what a function might look like in Google Sheets. But first, we need to understand what a function is. They allow you to do all those calculations we don't want to do by hand on a set of data that we've collected in your sheets. Using a combination of keywords and select cells in our spreadsheet, we'll be able to create a function. To do this, we need to type in what type of function we'd like to perform. If you don't know use a function, and if you don't know how to use a function, press F1 on your keyboard, and it will bring up formula help, which will explain the function, its requirements, and give you an example to help. The next thing we need is a reference, which is a cell, range of cells, or a name that represents a value of cells. Finally, we also need to put the argument which tells Google Sheets what data should be considered from the spreadsheet if you don't want all your data from the sheet to be considered. After our function, we can change the result if we need to by putting an operator, which could be mathematical, like using an asterisk in this example, to multiply, or a comparative, like using a greater than sign or lesser than sign. After this, we need to put what we are multiplying or comparing it to, which is a constant. In this case, it's 100. This constant will stay the same no matter what data it is looking at, hence the name constant. Sheets can also manipulate strings or strings of letters like a word or sentence. Common functions include upper, len, and plenty more that you can use the formula help to find out more about them. Next, we're going to look at pivot tables, which is another cool way to analyze and organize data. These tables help summarize and find patterns in a set of data. They help turn large amounts of data into digestible sections. They have 4 main elements: rows, columns, values, and filters. Row and columns organize your data into rows and columns. That's pretty straightforward. But the real magic lies within the values. Using this, you can perform functions on your data like we did before, but Google Sheets has already sorted your data into categories. These categories are based on a column in your sheet. After sorting the data, you can specify what you want to do with the data that corresponds to that category. Filters allow you to choose what you can see. So if you only want to see a specific part of your data, you can choose one or multiple categories to view, and the other rows will be hidden. So I will be doing a demo and sharing my screen. Just one second. All right, so here we have a spreadsheet with pretty much TikTok data. So here we can see that there's a user ID column, and then it shows what their country of origin is, their age, total video views on their profile, and total likes on their profile. And as we can see here, we see that some countries are repeated. I know Turkey already shows up twice over here in row 2 and then row 9. And then USA shows up on 6, 14, and 25, and it just repeats for all the other countries. So let's say, what happens if we want to combine all these and just combine all the values for these countries and create a pivot table for that. So what you're going to want to do first is kind of click the cell where you want to start collecting your data, and then hold Shift, and then scroll down to the other corner. In this case, I'm going to highlight all the data. So here you can see everything is selected. And then what you're going to want to do is click Data. And then, so here you can see there's a bunch of stuff here. And then what you're going to want to click is Pivot Table. And here you can see the range is what I've highlighted. Oops, okay, yeah. And then you can create a pivot table. So here we see I have a new pivot table. It's totally empty at the moment, but no worries, we're gonna add some things real quick. So I'm just gonna go off what the pivot table editor suggests, and it's going to be average of user's age for user's country of origin. So I'm just gonna click that. And here we can see that now everything has been combined into their respective countries, and there's no repetition. And then here we have the average of user's age, I believe, yes. And here we see that the row over here, each row is a user's country of origin, and you can change the order as well. In this case, it's ascending alphabetically, but you can also do descending. And then you can also sort by the user's country of origin or average of user's age, but I'll just keep it there for now. But let's say you want to see another value. I want to see, so you would click add. I want to see the total video views on profile. So now that I've done that, you can see that there's another column over here. And you can see the sum of total video views on profile by country. So everything will be added up. That is because right now we are summarizing by sum, but if you wanted to change it to average, for example, that will update for you automatically. So that is a quick demo of how to use pivot tables. And again, this is super customizable to whatever type of data that you have. And I will go back to the presentation now. All right, so moving on, our next and final topic that we are going to learn about is macros. Macros are basically a recorded set of actions that will help you with repetitive tasks. They record your mouse clicks and keystrokes, allowing you to do it once and then let Google Sheets do it every time after. They'll take care of it for you. So kind of think of it like making a cake. The first time you do it, you record the recipe, and every time after, you just reference back to it. But in this case, this is even better because you skip right to the cake. And in this case, the cake is a set of actions you perform on your data. You can use two different types of reference. Absolute references make your recorded macros fixed on a specific cell, whereas relative references will perform your recorded macros on cells relative to each other. And once again, I will be sharing my screen to show a demo of how to use macros. All right, so let's go back to our main data source over here. Now, I will do one example of a macro, but again, this is totally customizable to your liking. So what I'm going to want to do is have a repeated or an easy way to repeat the average of each column. So let's say I want to find the average of user age, total video views on profile, as well as total likes on profile. But that means I have to do the average function 3 times, and I'm too lazy to do that. So what I'm going to do is click the bottom of the column that I want to highlight. Again, hold Shift, and then scroll all the way to the top and highlight that whole column. And then I'm going to perform a function. So equals, and then this already has suggestions for me. I want the average of this. Oh, sorry. So that is how you would do that. And this time, so again, you would have to repeat that for the next column and the next column. But if you wanted to make a macros, you would click on Tools and then Macros. Then click Record Macro. Here I have selected Use Relative References because I don't want it to only apply when I'm highlighting this specific cell over here. I want it to be able to be applied on the columns that are next to it as well. So I'm going to repeat that same action. Click here, hold Shift, scroll all the way up, highlight the whole column, and then enter equals average. Press enter, and then save. So I'm going to call this column average, and then you can also create a shortcut for this. In this case, I'll do Command Option Shift 2, and we're going to click save. It's just going to save really quickly. Awesome. Okay. So then let's say I want to do this. I want to find the average really quickly on this column. I don't need to highlight anything anymore. All I have to do is press Command Option Shift 2. It's going to run the macros. And here we have it. At the very bottom, there's our average. I'll do it once again for this column for total likes on profile. And then once again, Command Option Shift 2. And I'm using a MacBook right now, so your commands might be different on whatever device you're using. So just it'll tell you once you create a macros. And then there we have it again, the average of this entire column. So now it's your guys' turn to try making a pivot table and macros. You can use your own data for this activity, or you can make a copy of our sheet to try it out. So I believe Shirley has sent our data table that we just used using the link in the chat. And what you're going to want to make sure to do is to make a copy so we don't have a bunch of people working on the same sheet. And very quickly, here's how to create a copy of a certain document. And by the way, you have to be logged in beforehand. So you're going to go up to File on the left-hand corner over here, and then press Make a Copy. You can name it whatever you want, and then just click OK, and it'll pop up. So again, we'll give you the remaining time to do this activity and customize your own macros and pivot tables to suit your data. And again, like Shirley said in the chat, please ask any questions if you have any. If you have any.
Thank you all so much for attending this Google Literacy workshop. We hope that you picked up a few tricks that will help you in school and for the rest of your careers. If anyone has any Google tips that make your life easier, please leave them in the chat. You might really help someone else out. After this workshop, we will be sending out an email. Please fill out the feedback form to make our events even better. We would really appreciate it. Click the icons below to check out PTC on our social media. Keep an eye out for our upcoming workshops, panels, and conferences. I want to thank you guys again for attending this workshop. I hope you all had some fun. Bye, everyone.